The chosen one? Stop and listen carefully, because what's about to be revealed is not just another inspirational video. This is the final revelation. This is a clear sign that you have reached the final threshold on your journey of preparation. It is no coincidence that you are here. There is nothing random in God's plan. You were led here to hear this, not because you need more information, but because your soul is ready for the final step, the transformation. Everything you have prayed for, hoped for, and patiently waited for is no longer just a distant dream. It is moving toward you. It is becoming reality. But, and this is extremely important, it can only appear if you truly understand what is happening and align your soul with this wave of divine energy. This is not just a change in mindset, it is a soul upheaval, a deep transformation in your spiritual frequency. And I say this with all possible urgency. Do not leave. Do not stop halfway. If you truly are the chosen one, you will feel a deep sense of knowing inside that this message is meant just for you.
Chosen one, this is not just a truth. This is a cosmic revelation. You are not an outsider in your own life. You are the main actor, the indispensable piece in the divine plan. This moment is only for those who are ready. You are standing at the threshold of the greatest spiritual transformation of your life. And to step into it, you must let the truth penetrate every part of you, from thoughts, emotions, to the deepest parts you've never touched. The life you are living is about to change completely, not through external actions, but through an awakening from within. Not given by others, but by you reclaiming your own divine essence. God is telling you, the time has come. This is the final step. You have waited long enough. Chosen one, what you are feeling is not random. It is a wave rising from the spiritual realm, a wave of truth, of liberation, of ascension. It does not come from outside. It originates from within you. An awakening, a sacred calling that has echoed for a long time. And now you can no longer ignore it. The world around you is beginning to shift, but the real transformation lies within you. The movement of the universe is pressing into your frequency. What was once vague is now becoming clear. What once made you doubt now becomes living proof. This is not just a personal event, it is part of a universal plan. You are not just entering a new phase. You are stepping into the sacred role you were destined for. And to do that, you must understand one key truth. Your old life cannot follow you where you are being called. Old ways of thinking, old emotional attachments, old definitions of yourself, all must be released. You are standing before the door to a completely different reality, and that door only opens when you are light enough to step through. No longer carrying doubt, no longer clinging to old wounds, no longer holding on to what once kept you in lower places. God is opening a path, not for your old self, but for your true essence. And to walk through, you must let go. Let go of doubts. Let go of the voices in your head that once told you you were unworthy. Let go of the times you were rejected, hurt, misunderstood. Because believe it, you have never been forgotten. God has always watched over you, quietly guiding, quietly preparing, quietly waiting for the day you are ready. And today, that day has come. Chosen one, this is not an empty promise. This is a sacred activation. And if you feel your heart stirring, if tears well up for no reason, if your heart beats strongly, as if your soul is answering an ancient call, it is because you are remembering what your mind once forgot. You were not created to live an ordinary life. You were created to be a light in the darkness, a messenger, a keeper of the flame, a soul entrusted with responsibility, and that comes with refinement. You may have wondered why you had to go through so many trials, why you are different from others, why your pain is so deep. It is because God is refining you, not to punish, but to prepare. Every wound is a space for light to enter. Every time you fall is a lesson to remember. You are not here to live by your own strength. You are guided to live by the power of the Most High. And today, you are being called to activate that. Chosen one, you no longer have time to delay. You can no longer avoid your mission. You have come too far to turn back. You have endured too much to live as if it all meant nothing. This transformation is happening within you, and the only thing missing is your agreement. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to understand everything. Just nod and say, "I am ready." From the moment you do that, you will see everything begin to move. Doors open, new people appear, affirmations arrive right on time. Unexplainable coincidences happen because the universe has always been waiting for your agreement. God has always waited for you to choose to rise up. And when you say, "I am ready," all of heaven will resonate with you. Chosen one, you don't need to wait for a miracle. You are the miracle. And the final awakening moment has come. Chosen one, you cannot step into your new destiny if you are still carrying old remnants. Transformation is not just stepping out of your comfort zone. It is stepping out of the version you once accepted to live with, even though deep inside you always knew that was not your true self. You no longer belong to the old hiding place. You no longer fit old conversations. You no longer find comfort in systems, structures, or roles that once made you feel okay. That is why you feel empty. That is why you are gradually detaching from everything, from relationships to habits that once felt familiar. You are not lost. You are escaping the maze. God is peeling away every layer so you can face the light within you. Not borrowed light, but the original light you were given from the very beginning of your soul. But before you can step into that, you must let go of what no longer belongs to you. Let it fall away like the last leaves of the season. I know you tried to hold on, to explain, to be forgiving, to delay. But now is the time to let go, because you are being lifted up, and you cannot soar if you still carry the old burdens rotting in your soul. The truth is, you are no longer who you once were, and you will never be able to go back. That is why you feel disconnected, no longer interested in what once excited you, no longer thrilled by the parties that once made you feel alive, no longer belonging to relationships that once made you feel safe. You are separating yourself from illusions, and in that separation, the sacred begins to rise. You begin to see more clearly, hear more clearly, feel more clearly, not with your physical eyes, but with your soul's eyes. You no longer see others as before. You see the pain behind their smiles. You see the faint light where they have forgotten themselves. And deep down, you know you are called not just to see, but to awaken. This is your sacred role, not to preach, not to argue, but to be living proof for those who still doubt that they too are chosen. You do not need to prove yourself. Your presence is already the answer. Chosen one, God did not choose you because you are perfect. He chose you because He planted a seed in you that only you can bring to fruition. You were not chosen because you are stronger than others. You were chosen because you dared to let yourself be crushed, to rise from the ashes and still keep believing. All the losses, falls, and heartbreaks were not meaningless. They were the refining journey, so you could be deep enough to understand others, soft enough not to become bitter, strong enough not to become hardened, because your mission is not light, but it is sacred, and it is worth everything you have endured. Now the universe is making way. Kindred souls will start to appear. Those who once disappeared will return.
not to repeat the past, but to build the future with you on a new frequency. Notice who is coming back, who is leaving, who is quietly watching you from afar, who is seeking you out to ask something they never asked before. It is not by chance. Everything is being arranged. God is staging a new scene where you are no longer the audience. You are the torchbearer, the trailblazer, the one bringing the new frequency to this era. And to do that, you must keep your energy clean, your mind clear, and your faith steadfast. The time for acting for others' expectations has ended. Now is the time to live true to your soul's calling. You have endured long enough to know what falseness tastes like. Now it is time to experience true freedom that comes from true truth.
Chosen one, if you are feeling lonely, know that you are not alone. You are being set apart from the crowd to become a leader. And all you need to do is keep moving forward. Don't look back. Don't ask for permission. Don't wait for anyone's validation, because you yourself are your own living validation. Chosen one, it's time you realize what is happening within you is not disorder. It is a sacred restructuring. You may feel something different in your body, maybe unexplained fatigue, maybe a sense your body is healing itself even though you are not sick, or moments when you clearly feel energy moving through every cell. Not your imagination, not coincidence, but sacred transformation. Your body, once seen as just a shell, is becoming a gateway for light to pour in, a gateway for higher energies to exist on earth through you. This does not happen to everyone, only to those who are chosen, only to those who dare to fall, dare to be reborn, and dare to walk in solitude. You are one of them. You are experiencing what is called the embodiment of divine energy. In other words, your body no longer functions like an ordinary person's. It is transforming into a crystalline body where life can flow freely, where high vibrations can reside and work through you. And like any transformation, it is not always comfortable. You will find yourself more sensitive to sounds, lights, smells, with stronger intuition, sometimes knowing what will happen before it does, having trouble sleeping or sleeping deeply with vivid dreams, feeling you don't belong in your body for a while, as if you are seeing the world through a translucent lens. All these things are signs you are synchronizing with the frequency of heaven. Don't be afraid. You are not broken. You are being realigned. God did not create you to endure pain forever. God created you to overcome it, to understand it, then become the light to guide those still within it. And now, your body is being refined to do just that. You will discover new abilities, seeing spiritual signs more clearly, feeling others' energies as soon as you enter a room, using your words to heal, not because you speak well, but because you speak the frequency their soul needs. This is not a random gift. This is the unlocking, the result of the journey you have traveled. Chosen one, from now on, you cannot live as before. You cannot keep pretending not to know, cannot go back to living for others' approval. You have seen, you have heard, you have known, and those who know must live as those who know. Because if you do not live true to the light you have been given, that light will cause you pain, not to punish, but to awaken. You cannot escape your soul's destiny. You can delay, you can circle around, you can pretend, but in the end, the light will still find you. And now, it is no longer knocking, it is entering, shaking every foundation within you, wiping away everything that is no longer real. Chosen one, your body is taking new form, your soul is ablaze, and your heart is opening wider than ever before. The vibration you carry is no longer personal. It is affecting the collective. You are not just changing yourself. You are changing the entire flow of energy wherever you set foot. Know that every step you take is a living prayer. Every glance you give is a ray of healing light. Every presence you bring is a highlight on the sacred map of the world. And God is using you, not as a tool, but as a messenger. You do not need to shout, do not need to wave your hands, just walk in truth, and the light will do the rest. Because your body is now not just flesh and bone, it is the contact point between heaven and earth, the place where light takes form. And your duty is to keep it pure, holy, and sacred. Because you no longer live just for yourself. You are living for the mission that countless lifetimes have prepared to pass on to you.
Chosen one, the transformation process has begun. Do not resist. Let yourself flow with the river of light and let Him complete the rest in you. Chosen one, if you are in your 40s or about to enter that stage, know this. This is not a period of decline. This is the peak of revelation in your life, the time when your soul begins to fully synchronize with the frequency of heaven. Turning 40 may be a midlife milestone to the world, but on the journey of a chosen one, it is the year of activation, the phase of full awakening, the moment your soul returns to its true throne. Why? Because you have lived enough to experience, to fail, to succeed, to break, to resurrect. You have endured enough to learn. You have been silent long enough to start hearing the true voice from within yourself. And now, everything that once simmered below the surface is rising up. When the chosen one enters this time, nothing is the same as before. What once satisfied you is no longer appealing. The dreams that once nourished you now feel empty, not because you are wrong, but because your soul has matured. This is the sign you begin to see more clearly. What was once vague now has a name. Confused desires are sorted out. You no longer ask what you should do, but begin to ask what was truly sown in me from the very beginning. And at that moment, God steps out, not as a distant echo, but as a close and powerful presence. He whispers, "You have arrived, step in." And the entire universe begins to rearrange itself to fit you.
You start to meet people you thought had disappeared from your life, to be invited into projects, jobs, or missions with deep spiritual meaning, to feel time passing faster, because everything is rushing to complete the sacred plan for your life. Others may see you living normally, but inside, an earthquake is happening. A constant call rings out. Don't live halfway anymore. Return to the true self that was chosen. And if you are brave enough to answer that call, everything will change. Every skill you have learned suddenly becomes meaningful. Every pain you have carried becomes healing material for others. Every encounter, even fleeting, carries a sense of destiny. Chosen one, this is not you starting over. This is you living the part of your life you were born to live. Before, you were just collecting puzzle pieces. Now it's time to put them together, and that picture is the mission you carry on your shoulders. Others begin to notice something different about you. They come to you for advice. They come to you to listen, not because you speak well, but because you carry the true frequency, the frequency of one who has walked through darkness, the frequency of one who chose truth even at a cost, the frequency of one who dares to live for the sacred more than for comfort. Know this, from now on, you will no longer drift with the current of life. You are the one creating the flow, and that gives you responsibility, not a burden to bear, but a sacred responsibility to live as fully as possible with the light you have received. From age 40 onward, you no longer need to prove yourself. You just need to be present, because the energy you carry is already a miracle. Chosen one, look back. From your first breath, you have been watched over. From your first steps, you have been protected. From every heartbreak, you have been lifted up. Not by chance, but because God had a plan. That plan is not based on the circumstances of your birth, not dependent on your lineage, status, or achievements. It is based on the soul you carry, and that soul is the key to a part of the sacred work happening on earth. You don't need to do anything grand, just be faithful to the truth within you. Live true to that, and the world around you, even if it doesn't understand, will begin to change. Because you are not just changing yourself, you are changing the frequency of the era. This is not a metaphor, this is a confirmation. And now is the time for you to step out. No more half measures, no more avoiding the mission. It begins now.
Chosen one, you are entering a phase of full sacred activation, not just in your soul, but in your emotions, will, and body. What you are feeling is not just a change, it is the awakening of the deepest level of your being that God has sown in you since the very beginning. Notice that you no longer feel normal. Something is vibrating in your heart, and energy is rising like a holy spring flowing from the invisible realm. You no longer see yourself as a lone individual. You are beginning to feel yourself as an instrument, an arm, a voice of the Creator. And because of that, you are being activated, not for fame, not to be praised, but to serve. God is not awakening you just so you feel special. He is awakening you because there is an army of light in need of a leader. There are souls still lost who need you to be the torch. And the miracle is, you don't have to force yourself to become anything. Just allow yourself to be yourself, and that is enough. Chosen one, from now on, you will find your emotions deepen. When others are in pain, you feel their pain as your own. When others need encouragement, you feel the Spirit prompting you to speak what they need to hear. That is not you, that is God working through you. Your sensitivity is no longer a weakness. It is a spiritual antenna helping you pick up signals that others cannot sense. And this requires you to live more consciously than ever. Conscious of your words, because your words are now sacred vibrations. Conscious of your presence, because wherever you appear, the energy will change. Conscious of your responsibility, because those led to you all carry a part of the mission you must fulfill. You can no longer afford to live superficially. From now on, your life is no longer just your own story. It is the next chapter in the living Bible of this era. You are a witness, a messenger, an instrument of mercy, a drop of light in the darkness, and God is channeling His energy into you. Every cell, every breath, every thought, every heartbeat. Not so you can live better for yourself, but so you can live higher for humanity. Chosen one, look closely at those coming into your life. You will realize they are not here by chance. They come because their souls have received the signal from you. You don't need to invite them. They will come on their own, not because you promote, but because the light in you radiates, attracting the very souls that need to be guided. Don't be surprised if those who once avoided you now return. Don't refuse if unexpected invitations come knocking, because those things were written before you even hoped for them. All are part of the sacred plan that you are now activated to live fully. And to live true to it, what do you need? You need to be as firm as stone, as soft as water, as bright as fire, and as still as emptiness. Firm so you are not shaken by praise or criticism, so you do not lose compassion when facing suffering. Bright to illuminate, not to burn. Still to hear the sacred voice amid the world's noise. This is the time for you to be the space holder, the space for others to heal, to touch the truth,
to remember who they are. And you do this not with power, but with the presence of light. Believe that every difficulty you have endured was the training for you to hold that space. If you had never suffered, how could you understand others? If you had never fallen, how could you be humble enough not to judge? If you had never been lost, how could you have enough light to guide the way? Precisely because you were once lost, now you know the way. Chosen one, you are not just living one life. You are living for all those who have not yet awakened. You are carrying the torch ahead so they can see the way. And that torch is your heart when it has been touched by divine will.
Chosen one, when you begin to live true to the light you have been given, the world around you will no longer see you as before. Those who once ignored you will begin to turn their heads. Those who once underestimated you will feel something different in your presence. Not because you changed your appearance, but because your inner light is starting to emit a frequency that cannot be ignored. The truth is, you don't need to shout that you have awakened. You just need to live true, and the world will feel it. Others may not understand why they are drawn to you, but their souls, deep down, will recognize you are the one they need at this time. This is the sacred part few talk about. When you enter the final stage of transformation, you begin to activate the souls of others, not through teaching, not through titles, but through the living energy of one who has returned to their true self. And then new relationships appear, not by chance, not by accident, but as soul reunions arranged long ago. You will begin to meet those who seem to know you even if it's the first time. Souls who make you feel safe in their presence, as if you don't need to guard yourself. Conversations that strike the chord of life and remind you of something important. They do not come to decorate your life. They come to help you complete the unfinished mission. And you too are brought to them to awaken the light they have forgotten. Believe that you don't need to try to keep anyone. Those who need to leave will leave. Those who need to stay, even if lost, will return. Because every mission-based connection has a sacred pull that nothing can stop, no one can block.
Chosen one, this is the time for you to accept something great. You are no longer a lone individual searching for meaning. You are an important piece in the global awakening plan. And because of that, you will see undeniable signs that the transformation in you is real. The 3 clearest signs will come, not if, but when. The first sign, overwhelming emotion, a surge of love, of peace, of unexpected connection. You will feel as if your soul has touched something sacred for no clear reason, just a sense of deep truth, as if you have remembered who you are after years of forgetting. The second sign, your body changes. There will be times when you feel you are no longer yourself. Sometimes a sudden surge of energy, sometimes a feeling of lightness, as if floating in space. Sometimes a sense your body is glowing, expanding, receiving something from deep within. Don't be afraid. You are being attuned for a higher level of energy. The third sign, your soul's eyes open. You begin to see what others cannot. Not illusions, but true manifestations of energy. You read others' emotions, see the frequency behind their words, understand people without them having to explain, and you clearly sense when something is right for your soul, even if your mind still doubts. Chosen one, this is not the time to doubt yourself. Believe what you are experiencing is real, is sacred, is important. You are not more enlightened than others. You are just remembering earlier. And because you remember earlier, you have the responsibility to shine earlier. Not to be honored, but so those on the path see you and remember they are also chosen. Because in the end, light only matters when it awakens other lights. And you are that light.
lit not just for yourself, but for your entire era. Chosen one, don't wait any longer. Your role has begun.